step I take, I move my truth. Every time they tell me stop, I use every comment, hate that makes my fuel. Gather up my energy and boom, I hear them talking, saying the way that I move is so reckless. That is a part of my mind I've been blessed with, giving my blood so I am relentless.
Well, we got the Keep Hammering Collective with Chase Rice. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You pushed me harder today than I pushed myself in quite a while, but
yeah,
we'll get into that. But man, it's been a fun day.
Oh, it's been great.
It's been a blast.
It's been, I mean, I don't know. I think I first met you, I guess you were here out there at Sweet Home at the Jamboree. I think it's
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, that was before
Rest
he died.
in peace.
We got a picture of us three.
You, me, and Kenny Rogers.
I know. That was crazy. But yeah, I went out there, we shot bows, I think.
Yeah. You brought me to the Hoyt.
Yep.
And that was, I hadn't killed a bull yet at that point.
Okay.
So I was just kind of getting into bow hunting.
And now you stacked them up.
I've got 4 or 5 with the bow now. I need to figure that out. But a couple of them I got lucky. I tried to screw it up, but and then last year was the first one I lost. And I hit it twice. But that was I heard about you through my hunting buddies, Stan, and a couple other guys that I go with a lot. And it's like, oh man! And then all of a sudden, we started following each other on social media, and it's like, man. And then you came to that show. So
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's been fun to see your journey grow a lot too. It's been awesome, man.
Well, I've been a fan of your music. I mean, we were talking earlier today, but Jack Daniels and Jesus is still one of that song to me is like, I mean, it's just powerful.
Yeah.
And, you know, anytime you talk about your dad, like kind of, my dad died too, and he died in 2010. So it's like, I'm always listening a little more intently.
My dad was 08. I mentioned Casey. We talked about Casey earlier. Like, I didn't actually punch Casey in the face. He would hit me back for sure.
Yeah.
The pup outside. I got my dog Jack here. Thanks for letting me include him all day. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. It's been a wild journey for me. Like Jack Daniels and Jesus, Carolina Can, a song called Look at My Truck, a couple songs here and there I look at and I'm like, okay, I had it in me. I had the real in me the whole time. And I look at it too. I'm like, sometimes I get in my own head. I'm like, man, why do I have this persona about me and my music? And then I look at the rest of my music. I'm like, well, like we've talked a lot today, it's because I was chasing something.
Yeah.
I wasn't being myself. I was chasing Florida Georgia Line or Sam Hunt, or like, they were great because they were themselves.
Yeah.
And I was just chasing that, trying to figure out who I was as an artist. And I look back, I'm not hard on myself, but I recognized that I wasn't being me. And that's all led to, you could see it with songs like Jack Daniels and Jesus, that I had it in me. And I always thought like, oh, I'll do that down the road. And now I'm in that mode of everything I write now is like, no, this is me now.
So this latest album, you feel strong about that. It's who you are.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And they say it's a 10-year town in Nashville, but it's kind of true. For me, it took 10 years. I didn't learn to play guitar till I was 21. So it took me 10 years of writing. Even though almost the worst thing that could happen for you was I was having success at something that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And I think that catches up to you for sure because people can see through the facade.
Because you started as a writer, did you?
Yeah.
Or okay, and that's
but I wasn't as good as the success that I had. Like Cruise we got lucky that day.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, we were good. We were doing our thing. We figured out our thing.
Yeah.
But Cruise was just lightning in a bottle.
Right.
And then I kept chasing that lightning and I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't know then.
Right.
So
did it put pressure on you? Because when you wrote that one so early on, then did it put pressure? Like people were like, okay, let's.
Yeah.
I mean, was that hard to live up to?
Everybody wanted to write Cruise again. Yeah. I wanted to write Cruise again.
Yeah,
Ready, Set, Roll was a different version of that, just not as successful, even though it had success.
Yeah.
But I made a lot of enemies too, just kind of giving the finger to the business and the industry and thinking that I didn't need anybody.
Yeah.
When the reality is, I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And you can't be not as good as, like in fighting or
it's a tough business.
In sports in general, you can be the best. And people may hate you, but that doesn't stop you from
winning.
From winning.
Yeah.
In music, you have to be liked.
Right.
So it's been fun to grow into this person that's not mad at the world, that understands the industry still got a lot of bullshit, but I can't control that. All I can control is making the best music possible. And I've got a great producer around me now that helped me make this new record that has a song called Bench Seat that's like my favorite song I've ever put out. It's about a dog. And the true story about that was my best friend in the world, college roommate. He put his 45 to his head and was just done with it. And the reason he didn't ultimately shoot himself was his dog walked up to him and put his head on his lap as he's finger on the trigger.
Oh my God.
And he comes to my house and kind of explains that to me. I was like, damn, okay. I knew you were going through something, but I didn't know you were going through that.
Yeah.
So he got the help he needed. And then fast forward a couple of years, we're sitting around a fire at my farm in Tennessee, and he was like, bro, he was doing a lot better. I'm like, okay, my friend's back. And now he's really back. He just got married. He's got a little girl on the way.
Good.
But he was like, dude, you should write a song about a guy driving around his truck with his dog. I'm like, on this new record, trying to avoid that cliche.
Yeah.
Of anything cliche in country music.
Right.
That's been done a million times.
Yeah.
But, I told you about the video.
Yeah.
Check that out at some point. It's I kind of wanted to go there with, for whatever reason, I had the idea in my head the day I wrote the song. I kind of wanted to show what would happen if you go through with it, and the struggle of, depression, and this was a drug overdose in the music video, and I don't know. I've just had a lot of real stuff happen in my life, a lot self-induced, but that led to depression and all that. And I wanted to hammer on that in this album and that song, and stuff like that has come up on this album that I would have never touched before.
Yeah.
Just feeling.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
Yeah. And that, as you said, like for a while, country music was about, girls and beer and trucks.
Dirt roads.
It's like, it probably always will be, but the songs that hit the hardest are the ones that are real and like that you're explaining now.
Yeah, and that's a hard song to I have to sing. I thought it would be like, okay, I didn't know what would happen on this album, but it's changing my life in a very interesting way. But I thought that'd be like maybe sing that song on special occasions, like if I play the Ryman or something. Now I play it every night. I have to. I bring Jack out on the stage. I have a black lab in the video is mine. But the reason I say this album's changing my life is because it's weird, because now I finally have some industry recognition. Yeah. Like CMA, winning some video stuff for Bench Seat. It's almost like I'm not sure people trust me though. I'm not sure people trust it yet, because
still they're skeptical or what?
Probably. And I don't blame anybody. It's like, this is so different than what he's done. Why is it real?
Which is a real chase.
That's the problem. And that's on me that I didn't show that before.
Of course.
But it's a wild, wild west in music. It's like, we were talking about Jelly Roll earlier, like just blowing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zach Bryan out of nowhere blowing up. And I think it's just authentic. People just want authentic. And,
they do.
And that's cool to see that working. And if it works for me, great. If it doesn't, and I don't get whatever I need to become a huge artist, I wouldn't change anything now. So it doesn't matter. It's like, I know the formula now.
I think it's a good time to like take control of yourself, and feel like, because with social media, the guys you just mentioned, they blew up because of social media. Zach Bryan is like, a few years ago, nobody hardly even knew him. He was in the Navy,
nowhere, man.
And making YouTube videos. Yeah. And then Jelly Roll we saw where, it blew up maybe during COVID. And then, there's some other artists that maybe might not even be signed, but people, they got, 500,000 followers. Yeah. And it's just from social media.
It's crazy.
So it's time.
And at first I wanted to resist. I started hating social media. And I think there's a lot of BS on there. Like, of course, I try to not make anything negative because there's just too much of it.
Plenty of that.
And just people talking shit. This was in your book, and you just hammered it so perfectly. Like, if have a conversation with somebody. Like, stop talking shit on social media on people who are doing great at what they do. Like, there's just it's jealousy. I don't know, but I've come to the realization, like, this is a perfect way to directly get your stuff,
Your message out.
and nobody's censoring that.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
No, there's a lot of shit with it, but there's a lot of benefit too.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I mean, in some weird way, it's just trying to block out. I don't know. I mean, I'm not inspired by negative people. I'm inspired by outliers, by winners.
Yeah.
And so this show, my whole lift, run, shoot thing in this podcast is just, as I told you earlier, it's like an excuse for me to get somebody to train with, because normally I'm training by myself. So I'm like, well, I can make it pretend like we're going to do a show. But really, I'm just got a workout partner, and I can just hopefully learn from them on how they have got to the top. You know, it's like you. It's like I learn all these valuable lessons about what you've learned along the way, and we share it. Maybe we help others, you know? And so it's not about talking shit about other people. It's about, it's like, hey, we're trying to win.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
And the biggest thing I've found lately is, you know, when it was FGL, then it was Sam Hunt, then it was Luke Combs. Right now it's Morgan or Zach or whoever. There was a while there, it's like, all right, how do I get that? How do I get that? It's like, well, that's going to fuck you right there.
Yeah.
How do I get that? You can't. They got it. It's theirs.
Right.
And now I see success with all these guys. I'm like, good for them. I'm happy for them. Like, if I'm looking at that being jealous, all it's doing is taking away, like, that's hurting me.
Yeah.
So I try to just be happy for everybody. At the same time, you're competitive and you want to kick ass.
Yeah.
But the way that I kick ass that I'm learning now is first just focus on me, first of all. It's all I can control. And then focus on great music. You have to have great songs. And for the longest time, I believed my own bullshit, I think, of thinking that I was better than I was. And that's been a hard lesson to learn, but I'm glad I learned it. And now it's just like, no, this album was the very best that I could possibly do. And it's good. And now we're just going to keep getting better.
I don't know how one writes a song, but like, do you think if you were trying, would you come up with a hook and then try to build a song around it? Is that what you were doing? And now you're more like on the story?
Dude, I have a song called Party Up that some people still want to hear live. I'm like, you're never going to hear that live. It's terrible. But it was me just trying to make a version of a Florida Georgia Line song. Yeah. And it turned the party up, drink the good times down. It's saying nothing. I don't even know what the fuck it's about. It's about partying. But
you had that part, and then you were trying to build around it, maybe?
Party up, 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 up. It's like, you're saying nothing, bro. So that was how I was writing songs before. There was a lot of melody in my head of what I wanted to, how I wanted to write songs. Melody, repetitive, all this stuff. Now it's, Bench Seat was like, damn. I mean, I had to sit down and grind on that one. I was bawling half the time I'm writing the song. Yeah. Because I just kept thinking about, like, what if he wasn't here?
Your buddy, yeah.
Like, it'd be devastating. Thank God he is still here. But that was a grind. That was a 7-8 hour me trying to tell a story and piecing it together. Okay, this doesn't even make sense. How do I make this part connect to this part? And then at the end, it's almost like you realize, if you really listen to the song, you realize, damn, this has been from the dog's perspective the whole time, and I didn't even know it. Yeah. So that was a hard one. Some of them were fun, like Oklahoma, Walk That Easy, and Goodnight Nancy. We wrote in Alabama, right outside where the Florida-Bama is. And it wasn't that much of a grind. It was just 4 or 5 guys hanging out in a house, having fun writing 3 songs. Yeah. And then we cut all 3 of them. Usually you write like 5 or 6. It's like, okay, which ones are we going to do? All 3 of them were good. Let's do them all. Yeah. And I wrote them with my producer, he's a very, very smart guy. And he's smarter. He's better than me in the studio. And every producer I've ever had has been better than me. The problem was I was pushing the other guys to do this or do that. That wasn't necessarily them. And Oscar, I can't do that with. I understand what he is. And he'll say something. I'll try to do something, maybe sneak back into some old ways. He's like, we're not fucking doing that, man. Like, my bad. Yeah.
Well, so I'm curious how, like, if I had to think, who is Chase Rice? You know, like what, because you've done, you've been on Survivor. You fucking played football in North Carolina. You were in a pit crew. So it's, and then you said you wrote songs that wasn't really you. So if you had to describe you, who are you?
It's a good question. It's been a weird life. Yeah, it was football first. I was a football guy, and that was my mentality in life, was the keep hammering lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's what I was, because I was undersized, not as fast as some other guys. So I had to grind to become the best at what the best I could be anyway. And that mentality in music is not necessarily going to work. You can't just plow through people and say, fuck you.
Out physical people.
It's like you gotta, I would say, through it all, through Survivor, through football, NASCAR, now music for 10 years. I just, first of all, I'm not as tough as I lead on. Like through a lot of the challenges that I've had in life, the bad stuff, the injury in football, my dad dying, I've learned to just be myself and be real, which is be vulnerable too. Sing about shit that hurts.
Yeah.
Not try to be this jock tough guy that
Invincible.
I thought I was. Yeah, I'm not invincible at all.
Right.
I'm only as good as the people around me, and I've got great people around me. Now, as in friendships and life in general. Now, it's hard to say who the hell you are. I'm like, I don't know, man. But that's the biggest thing I think I can lean into now in life is like, I don't even like saying the word vulnerable.
Yeah.
It makes me feel weird.
Right.
But that's the reality of it, is the best version of me that I am is that guy, is that's vulnerable, that's there for friends, that will talk about tougher stuff. Like my buddy almost killing himself. Me writing in a journal probably 10 years ago now, like, I no longer want to be alive. Like, I wrote that one night. It's bad. I mean, you're just in a bad, depressed place. But I'd say that the thing I'm striving to be the best now is like, be the best version of me, whatever that is. Sing about the real stuff that's happening in my life. Be there for other people, not just myself. Stop being so selfish.
Yeah.
Being there, just going out of your way to be there for other people. I think that's one of the best qualities a human being can have.
Well, and from the outside in too, it seems to me like you're, you love hunting. And we've been shooting bows, and like anytime you're talking about hunting, it's like I see your eyes light up. So there's something there about. Did you grow up hunting?
Yeah. We'd go after doves when I was a kid on the power line. Like, that's how I got introduced to hunting. At 5-6 years old, going out with my brother. I didn't get into big game hunting, which would have been whitetail for us in the Southeast. For me, till I was middle school, starting to get into high school, and it was all with a rifle. I was so bad at hunting in high school. I remember dialing in my 7 mag my dad got me. Scope, everything's good to go. Okay, that's not there. Cool. Click, click, click. It had the cap on it. I wasn't even dialing the scope in.
Oh.
Because the cap was still on it. I was just turning that.
Turning the cap.
That's how clueless I was.
Yeah.
And it's turned from that into my brother, Casey, getting me into bow hunting 6 or 7 years ago.
He was older or younger?
He's older.
Okay.
He's the best hunter in our family growing up. He's had a tough go on the elk with a bow the last few years.
It's hard for everybody, dude.
He's had some tough luck. And I've gotten lucky.
No, has he killed a bull yet?
He has.
Oh, good.
He's killed one with a bow. He's killed a few with rifles.
Okay.
Or I think 2 with rifle maybe. But he got me into bow hunting, and I love it. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just the close quarters. It makes you nervous. It's hard.
Yeah.
For me, there's that voice in my head when you're getting into the bugling and getting closer, and you realize this might actually happen.
That adrenaline.
There's that voice in your head that's like dead ass serious, and sucks to say, but it's true. man, if he doesn't walk in, that'll be okay because then I can't fuck it up.
Right.
But then it works or it happens and you just gain confidence every single time it happens right. And you do the right thing, which is where I'm at now.
I think a lot of people actually have that thought because it is so hard and failure hurts so bad. People might want to just skip over the failure part and just say, "Oh, fucking win, busted."
Didn't happen."
Just whatever.
Because then it's not on you.
No, it takes it off the pressure off. So I mean, I don't think that's just you. I think that's a lot of people.
But you get past that and fuck that fear. It's going to be there no matter what or whatever it is. Cool. Now let's focus on what I got to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the win. There they are. He's coming in. You're going to them. Whatever it is, and you go get it done.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love most about bow hunting. Probably 4 years ago, I had a axis walk in. I shot a buck low, a whitetail in Texas. And this is when I was, I'll get to that in a second, but I was just in a mode of like, kill. Just got to kill. Got to get him on the ground.
Reps.
Yeah. And buck comes in, shoot it low, screwed it up. And then an axis walks in, and I don't know if it was nerves looking back or the fact that I didn't check in a blind if I could clear and actually it jammed me up as I'm drawing. I did everything perfect. Waited for him to get 18 yards in, broadside, draw back, shoot him dead. Draw back, jams me up, slams down. He sees me there. I draw back again, and he scoots.
Oh no!
So my heart was just broken.
Yeah.
And Kevin, who came to pick me up, he said, damn it, boy. But he's laughing, and I'm not laughing. And looking back now, it's just because he knew all he kept saying was just, you've got to stick with it. There's these 4 different modes of like, I got it on my phone still, but basically he said, you need to get in that mode of kill. You've got to kill as much as possible to get the practice that you need to where you can get to that final phase one day, which is you're with others, helping them learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm still in that phase. I still need a lot of experience to go after these guys.
Yeah.
This year I've got 2 tags, but you're right. I light up when I talk about it because I don't know if you can feel more alive than one of these screaming at you at 10 yards or 20 yards.
I don't think so.
You're just like, you're so in the moment, you're not thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
And it's just so real, and you have to grind to make it happen. You don't always have to. Some people just get lucky, but if you're going to make it happen every year, you got to grind.
You got to earn that.
And I love the grind, and I love working my ass off. Like today, as I was thinking, holding that rock, it's like, this sucks. and that mentality is not new to me. It's the last 8 months I got lazy. And my body started shutting down because I got lazy. All my injuries have caught up to me, and I'm getting older. But even today, it was a familiar feeling of, you can quit. Like anybody can quit.
Yeah.
Don't fucking choose it. And that was a good feeling today up on that mountain with that rock of like, this sucks, but I see the top, I'm going to get there. And at some point I remember we were talking, like Nandor came up and he was like, he said something about switching. And he said, but leave that fucking rock here. I said, nah, at that point, you got it in your head. You got to get it to the top. Yeah.
No, that I saw you being, that's just a little competitive spirit. It's like, no, we could quit. I mean, nobody's out there.
Yeah.
Fucking, we could always come up with a reason to leave the rock and empty out the sand. Who knows what? You could make it sound good in your head to yourself, right? And nobody's there judging you. But you were just like, can we get this to the top? Do we, do you care how long it takes? And I'm like, no, let's get it to the top. And I think I mentioned, like, we're not going to pack a bull halfway out.
That wouldn't be any good.
Yeah. So, you finished the job. And I love that. Yeah. I love seeing that in you because people, like I've heard people say like, oh, I would never let anybody take the load from me. I'd finish. And that sounds good when you're not doing it. Yeah. When you're doing it, it fucking sucks. And you can come up with all sorts of reasons why you don't want to finish. But
I got it in my head where it was like, I don't care how we're getting it there. whether Nandor takes it halfway, I take it out, whatever it is, we're getting it there.
Yeah.
And I could see Nandor was hurting. I was hurting. And it's not like it was the toughest thing that I've ever done. I've done some crazy shit back when I was training for football and stuff. But for what today was and what shape I'm in life right now, like it wasn't easy.
The test, yeah.
And it was cool to still know that I have that
You do.
mentality, and that's going to carry into tomorrow.
Yeah.
And a cool thing that I did last year was 75 hard. And that was something that I'd lost. It wasn't gone, but dormant, I'd say.
Right.
It was the mentality of finishing things, and just when you don't have the accountability and you can kind of do whatever the hell you want, I let that happen, and I got lazy, and I was drinking all the time. And my buddy called me to say, like, I remember when he called, I knew it was coming. He's wanting to do 75 hard, and he was just like, as soon as his name popped up on my phone, I was like, fuck.
I know what this is.
I don't want to do. Okay, when are we doing it? I got Kentucky Derby next weekend. So what's the date? When he said, we're starting tomorrow. It's like, dude, I got the Derby this weekend. I can't go sober. And that was the coolest test ever. It was 4 days in. You're having to stay sober.
No
at the
lemon
Kentucky
drops?
Derby. No lemon drops. None.
That's impressive.
Funny enough, it was almost like God saying, hey, see, you can do this, and look what happens when you do. At one of the parties I was at, because I kept partying like crazy. I just wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
I was sober. And but one of the first party that we were at, I'm wearing a cowboy hat, Wallen and Darius and Aldine and all these guys are there. Miss USA or Miss America, I can't remember, walks in. And
Probably hot either way.
Yeah, whatever she was. And she looks at me with her mom, and I'm just like,
Mother and daughter. That's cool.
but I'm like, damn. So I go up and talk to her, and we have a great conversation. Hang the next day, and I'm like, wait, Miss USA wants me? And that doesn't happen when you're drunk because you're an asshole.
Right.
A shit show.
Yeah.
So 4 days in, I learned this isn't so bad and made it the full 75 days. And then I went the opposite way after that, and it just turned into a shit show. And that's when my body started falling apart just because I stopped working out, and now I've gotten back to, and a big thanks to you because I knew this was coming. And I know you can't be in bad shape to do whatever we were going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my goal now is, and I did it last night. I went out with the guys, had some drinks here in Eugene, had a blast, but called it fairly early to come do this. And that's where I want to get to, or that's kind of where I'm at right now.
In control.
In control. And it does not matter what you did the day before. I have to get up and do something. Whatever the workout is, it doesn't have to be a marathon a day, whatever.
Yeah.
Get the fuck up and get something in.
Yeah.
And that mindset is changed my life even in the last month, because I'm getting up and I'm grinding no matter what. No matter, I'm going to pay the price. If I did it the night before, cool, get up and pay the price.
Yeah.
Because life's just better that way.
Yeah, and you can have momentum going either way. You can have momentum going to the fucking bottom.
Yep.
And be a piece of shit every day, and just like that's the or you can have that momentum. You got that positive momentum now, where there might, you might have a couple. You're still going to get the work in the next day.
Yeah.
You're still going to make a positive stride.
And knowing that you're going to make yourself do something the next day is going to make you think twice about.
Yeah, how hard you go.
Do I really need to stay out tonight? No. Like last night I called it a night.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like the mentality I had yesterday was, no, I want to go into Cam's deal, whatever it is, knowing that I also had fun the night before. And to me, that can be a slippery slope for sure.
Yeah.
But I have gotten to the point where it's just like, man, it hurts worse the next day.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying going out and getting hammered anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
I just like to be in more control.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey guys, you want to be as smart as famed neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, PhD at Stanford? Well, sadly, that's probably not going to happen. But I did find something that can help, and that's HVMN Ketone IQ. I actually downed one right before reading this, so if I sound decent, it's probably why. Because I'm not sure if you guys realize how much brain power podcasting takes, but whatever I can take that will at least make me sound smarter, I'm in. Ketone IQ is a clean energy boost without sugar or caffeine. Ketone IQ increases your blood ketones. I'm not on a keto diet, but by taking Ketone IQ, I can achieve the desired focus and energy for explosive workouts that ketones typically provide to those in ketosis. You can find Ketone IQ at your local Sprouts or online at hvmn.com. Use code CAM, C-A-M, for 20% off your first order. I'm excited to announce a partnership with Ice Barrel Cold Plunges. You guys know that I make it a daily ritual to jump into the ice bath before a long run just to get my head right. Just a little bump. And Ice Barrel has provided a cost-effective solution for your cold plunge needs. Ice baths are one of the fastest ways I reset my body because it releases all the endorphins in the most natural way. I like to suffer, and I can tell you, once you start using an Ice Barrel cold plunge, you'll like the cold-induced suffer as well. Cold therapy reduces inflammation and pain by constricting blood flow to muscles. By temporarily reducing nerve activity, cold therapy reduces swelling and muscle spasms. Get yours at icebarrel.com and use code CAM for $125 off. So what does that feel like? What do you get the most satisfaction from? Is it like being on stage and looking at all those faces down there, having a good time and you're entertaining? Is that, or is it the success of a song, or is it telling the story? I mean, where do you get the most?
Yeah. Live is my favorite part, I guess. No, I mean, but when you're in the studio and writing the songs, there's three different things that all lead to live. But live is ultimately why you do it. I mean,
yeah.
For me, it's like you're not writing these songs to sing them to yourself all the time.
Yeah.
So I've done different things lately where I've gone to other shows. I've gone to a lot of shows this summer because I'm living in my Airstream. Mm-hmm. So I live in an Airstream and I'm out based in Missoula, and then I just travel around.
Okay.
And I played Shine Frontier Days. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, Zach Bryan was playing, so I stayed. Mm-hmm. And I met Zach at the red carpet. We didn't know each other well. I just said some words at the carpet, and he told me him and the boys listened to my record, and they loved it, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That's it. So I just stayed to watch him play, and ended up watching his show. That was inspiring for me, and it pissed me off at the same time. Because it's like they know every single word to every single song.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you're yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what Zach has built. I'm still fighting against myself.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because now I've learned who I am and what I want to sing about.
Yeah.
But it was challenging. It was almost a challenge to me of like, okay, this is the ultimate live show when they're singing every word. Yeah. And I don't have that yet. Right. And I almost look at some of my shows, I'm like, why are y'all here? Half of y'all are crazy as shit and having a blast and singing along. Half of y'all are just staring. Yeah. And every artist has that, by the way. I'm sure. Every artist has the people they look at in the crowd and they're just like, are you even having fun? But that's my goal now is to get that reaction. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you can't get that reaction by me going and all of a sudden trying to make a Zach Bryan record. Yeah. I have to ultimately stick to what I'm good at. But I saw those shows and I see my shows, and some people come to my shows and some nights are like that for me. Yeah, I bet. I want every night to be like that. I understand. And for me, that's keep writing the songs you're writing, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Do not chase shit. Mm-hmm. Just be yourself, and eventually, hopefully, it'll be that. Yeah, like we were talking about social media earlier, it seems like to me, like, you talk about being authentic, but Zach, when I first saw him, and when Lainey Gardner too, same thing. They're sitting there, set up, probably a phone, with a guitar, and just singing. Yeah, and so people are like, they feel like they're there with them. And maybe that's how that connection, you've done that too, but it seems like that was Zach's whole thing. Yeah. It just started him. Just sitting there. I remember one where he's sitting there and like he had a fresh cut and he's like kind of sunburnt. What was he talking about? The veins in his arms, Tanner? What song's that? Condemned. I'm condemned. Yeah. Like that one where he's just sitting there and it's just playing the guitar. Yeah.
And
I think a big key to it is he's just good.
yeah, of course.
He's really fucking good. Yeah. Same with like Morgan. He's just fucking good.
Yeah. But you're good too. There's no reason why you couldn't do that.
And I'm figuring it out now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I look back and I would not say I was good. I would say I was confused.
I think even they would probably say that sometimes.
At some point, maybe.
You know, I mean, nobody has it figured out fucking 24/7, dude.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on up here for any of those guys.
No. From the outside in, you probably, because people try to make it seem like that, right? Like, I got it, I'm good. Nobody's got it.
Yeah.
So
everybody needs accountability and somebody else around to talk to deal with their shit, because everybody's got it.
Yeah.
You just said it. I mean, but for me, it's like, you just mentioned Lainey Gardner. I don't know what she's doing, if she's figuring out what I don't even know how old she is, but she's good. Yeah. And if she figures it out, she's going to be real good.
Like that song we played today, that Fleetwood Mac, where she's just singing that cover, is just like, holy shit.
Crushing it. She's so good.
Yeah.
And like I said, we need to finish that song. Her and I wrote that, Dear Miranda.
Yeah.
But it's, man, I'm just in such a fun place where it's like the music is going to take care of itself. And if it doesn't, and I fail, you know, and I would consider it a failure if I actually, I can look back on my last 10 years and be like, damn, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And I could be done now and be like, that was a fucking awesome ride.
Oh, it's not over, dude.
But
there's no way.
Yeah. To me, I don't really know what the goal is, because there's so much other shit that goes into what I do.
Yeah.
Whether that's CMAs, ACMs, Grammys, all this stuff. I don't know what leads to selling out arenas. But I know for a fact that I am doing the right music. I'm making it the right way, and I'm not going to change that. There's no chance in hell that's changing, and that's all I can control.
Well, I know that, Zach did win a Grammy, but before that is when we were all watching the videos and singing the songs.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the Grammy made him. You know what I mean?
That's 100%.
It was just that, that it just felt real, and that you keep mentioning that, and that's true. And you got that fucking soul in you. You've been through so much shit, dude.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of just singing it,
And this is the first album where I've done that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've touched on it here and there before, but this is the first album that it's no bullshit. It's just like, this is me, man. And there's a song called You in 85. I don't know if it's going to be on the deluxe version of this I Hate Cowboys record. By the way, it's my dad on the cover, double fist and Courts Banquet.
Yeah.
I always wanted to use that picture.
Or classic photo. I love that one.
But you can't have that as the picture when it's Ride or Eyes on You. Like, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So now that I got the music right, I was like, this is the time to use that picture. But UN 85 I wrote it with Lori McKenna, who's an unbelievable songwriter, and Oscar Charles, my producer. But basically saying, like, whether it's me with you in 85 or you here now, like, we know it can't happen. But it's, what if it could, this is what it would look like. And it's kind of just me saying, Dad, damn. And the idea was, like, I told Lori, and we started laughing about it. He always said, I'm telling you, you grow up, you're going to look just like me. And now here my dumb ass is with a mustache. He had one. I'm trying to get the curls going, but he had the bushy mustache. Now I have a mustache, and I don't know if I look like him, but I think we look familiar.
I think so too,
and or look similar. But
he had more reddish hair, right?
Yeah. He had cool sideburns too. But he was a great man.
Yeah,
and I remember him saying that all the time, and no, I don't want that. Now that would be the greatest honor. Yeah, to be able to live up to who he was, and not live up to who he was, but honor him with who I am, I guess is a better way of saying it. But that's the song on my record that I'm just like, whew, is about to get real. Yeah. And in a really cool way. And I've hit on my dad a lot on this record. He's on the cover, so why wouldn't I? And I'll probably get off that after this album, go on to something else. Hopefully, I've hit on my dog a good bit on this record, and I'll get off of that and go move on to something else. But it's fun to sing about where you are in life.
Yeah.
Instead of just, I got a girl in my truck on a dirt road on tailgate and the stars.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect night.
Yeah. I mean, that probably will still always work too, but yeah, it's, yeah. I mean, how often do you think about your dad and like what you're doing and what he would tell you?
Pretty often. It doesn't really leave. I think he'd be proud of what I'm doing now. I think the most proud he'd be is that I'm a good uncle. I think he'd want me to have a wife. I don't have that yet.
Yeah.
One day, that's the goal.
He might like hearing the stories from the road though. I mean,
I didn't make this shit up. Like I got the love I have for women from somebody.
yeah, right.
And I'm not afraid to talk about that either. Like I love women, man. And that's been a thing for me. But at the same time, I don't want to wake up and be 55 years old and alone. So that's a battle you got to battle through every day.
Wait, is 55 old? Because
No.
do you know how old I am?
Yeah, no. That's young.
Okay,
young.
I just want to make sure. I was like, I didn't really know what you mentioned that.
I'm mainly just saying I don't want to be 55 and single.
Oh, gotcha.
But man, it's a constant thought for sure of my dad. And,
Yeah.
And it's the saddest part is my mom. She's lived 15 years now without him. And that'll never fully heal for her.
Is she like never gonna?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd be fine with it if she did.
that was her husband, and that's it.
That was it. And she always says nobody's going to live up to him. And I don't disagree. But that's a hard part. Yesterday was his birthday. He would have been 73, I think, 72 or 73. And interestingly enough, I remember it's weird that he would be in his 70s now because a week before he died, I talked to him on the phone. He had a heart attack. And he said, man, I was just asking him what's going on with him because he was dealing with melanoma, but he was getting better, beating it, supposedly, apparently not. And he said, man, I'm not going to die from this. I will not let cancer kill me. And funny enough, he had a heart attack. So he kind of gave the bird to cancer and said, no, I'm out of here. But he said, man, by the time I'll deal with this the rest of my life. By the time I get out of here, I'll be in my 70s and I'll meet the grandkids and I'll be ready to go. And now he never got to meet him. That's another hard part. But we got videos from, I got them in the family text, but it's from Addie, Danny, who's my niece and nephew, Walker, who's my other brother's son, and then Jack's a baby, so he can't talk. But they were all saying, we love you and miss you, Big Paul. That's what we called his dad.
Yeah.
So they call him that. But that's tough to see.
Yeah.
It's happy. You're happy seeing it from them, but it's also tough to that they didn't get to know him and he can't be there for them. But that's our role now.
But his legacy lives, you know, and that's all we can do when people are gone. Yeah. It's man, you know, fucking life and losing people and losing a dad. I don't know. I mean, I know it's always hard. It's always hard losing people you love, but for a son to lose their dad, it's rough.
At 22, it screwed me up. And I don't think I knew it. I didn't have a clue. I remember not drinking at the funeral because I was like, nope, I can't go to that. And then a few weeks go by and you start drinking. I was in college, you know, that's what people do in college. But I had no idea how much it was going to screw me up. And then going to Nashville and being new to that scene, the party scene, I didn't face it. And that's why in 2013, I'm writing I No Longer Want to Be Alive. Like, I just didn't deal with it. Now I've dealt with it. It's always going to suck. But I can wake up today and fucking kill it. And I can go after it and not live in depression. And you have your days, but not living there. So you can actually function and have a good life. And that's what he'd want. That's what he'd want for me and for my brothers and my mom. And life's never going to be the same since he's been gone, but it can still be awesome.
Yeah, I remember you know, when my dad died, it was weird because you feel like it's just weird because I would see everybody else doing the same normal shit.
Yeah.
It's like nothing fucking changed.
Yeah.
But you feel like your whole world got ripped apart.
Mm-hmm. It did.
Your fucking dad is gone. And then you see people going to get coffee, fucking watching the game.
Yeah.
It's just like, how does nothing change except for my life?
My world is wrecked.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's just weird. It's just hard to reconcile at times.
For me, it's been helpful though. Like anybody else that loses somebody, you know how they feel.
Yeah. And everybody's going to at some point. I mean, but
So
does it make it easier?
No, but it does help you be there for other people when they're going through it. It makes you tough.
Yeah.
Like it makes you have to. You either give up or you deal with it.
Yeah.
And I've now chose to deal with it and deal with it in healthier ways than I was. So, and that's part of too, like my brothers, coaches, other players that I played with growing up, it's like they helped me develop into this mentality of I'm not going to quit. Like whatever bullshit can happen, but I'm not going to choose quitting. And those people helped me develop that. And like even today, like going up that mountain, I started getting pissed at the music industry. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
You start getting mad at the last 10 years, but you're taking it's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going. And all those people that help you along the way develop that mentality is, I don't even know where I was going with that, but it's cool to, losing a parent is like, it makes you tough. It's cool to figure life out and look up and be like, sure, I've dealt with some tough shit, but I'm still here.
The way I look at it is like all those feelings you have and think about when you do fucking beat it and win and get to where you want to, it's going to make it that much sweeter.
Yeah.
Because you'll remember like this, hey, this has been a grind.
Yeah.
A grind, and it fucking worked.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't think it was going to work at times.
Yeah.
But it did.
Yeah.
And it's going to, you know, that in just some weird little snapshot, that happens on hunts a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, it'll be hot. Bulls aren't bugling. And I'll just be like, hey, when I kill a bull, it's going to be that much better.
Yeah.
And so that's how I look at your journey. It's like, yeah, you're going to fight the whole way.
Yeah.
But you're going to get there.
And I don't know if guys like, you know, Zach, I'm just using them as examples because they're the two top dogs right now, but Zach and Morgan, like in my line of work, I don't know how they feel. I don't know what their ride's been like, but I know they're at the top right now. Will I ever get there? I don't know, but I know the formula and I know what I'm doing now. So that's going to lead to the most success that I can possibly have. And that for me matters more than anything, that I'm sticking to myself. And at the end of the day, I'm going to look up and be like, damn, I was the best version of me that I could have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means more than anything, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I was, you know, you mentioned like these newer artists, but you're wearing the Chris Ledoux shirt. Who has influenced your music on the old school guys?
Yeah. It was Ledoux first. I remember him before anybody, and that was my brothers because they had Bareback Jack's cassette tape. Then it was Garth. And actually, this is from a Garth concert. He sells these now, I think. I'm sure it goes to the Ledoux family or whatever. I hope anyway. But
Garth's a little odd these days, it seems like. Is he?
He's cool to me, man.
Is he?
He's been awesome to me. I don't understand why he wouldn't be on Spotify and just doing the normal thing there, but he's been great to me.
Okay.
And funny enough, this is a true story. I don't even know if he knows this, but I was supposed to open for him. He gets on Entertainment Tonight, promises me that if I ever play Nissan, I think I said like CMA Fest won't let me play Nissan. I don't know why I can't get in there, but they won't let me in there. He said, I'll tell you what, if I ever play Nissan Stadium, will you open for me? I said, absolutely. Entertainment Tonight, like you can't back out now. I get a call. I think it was post-COVID. I get a call, and it's him. Just I don't know. He said, and I didn't answer. He says, "Hey, buddy, it's Garth. Call me back." I'm like, "That's interesting."
Yeah.
And he calls to tell me they're gonna have the Opry open instead of me. So he broke the promise, but it's the Opry. That's cool. I couldn't have been there anyway when he was doing it because I had a show in Ohio.
Yeah.
The show happens. Chris Young, I think, opens too, and Garth never plays because a storm rolls in.
Oh.
Huge thunderstorm. And fast forward, I'm like, okay, well, it worked out well for me anyway. I see the sign for the remake of the show, Nissan Stadium. I'm going into Nashville, going out to meet the boys.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing. I'm on whatever I was on that night. I'm buzzing. I look at the sign. I'm like, text him. I'm drunk, texting Garth. And I say, hey, dude, I see, you're playing whatever. Let me know if you need some friends in low places. Because
Nice.
he mentioned come up and sing Friends in Low or whatever.
Okay.
For the thing that I couldn't open for him anymore. I wake up the next day and I have a text back from him. I'm like, shit. He said, here's the COVID protocols. Can you be there? Yada, yada. I'm like, yes to all.
Yeah.
And I end up opening. It was the Opry again, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, and me. And I was the only one that wasn't an Opry member. Up there with them. And then we all get up there and sing Will the Circle Be Unbroken? I think that's what we sang.
Yeah.
All together. And I'm up there singing and just looking at him like, this is my idol growing up.
Yeah.
And it all happened with a drunk text.
See? Everybody's got stories when it doesn't work, right?
That one somehow worked.
That one, it worked.
That was funny, man.
Yeah, it's so what does it mean to be an Opry member? Just that you played there before, or
No, they have to invite you in to be a member.
Oh.
Usually it's, I don't know if politics are involved. I don't know if they just
sure
got
they
to like you. I don't know if you got to play there a certain amount of times.
Yeah.
But I've played it twice, 2 or 3 times now. So it's cool to do.
that's a big honor. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
It's
only
cool.
one Opry.
I know. When I've done it, it's been cool every time.
Yeah.
But Garth and Ledoux were early on, then George Strait. I was not a, prior to those guys, I didn't listen to really music in general. My family, we didn't really listen to a lot of music growing up. So those were the first guys that I got into, like Hank Jr., Willie, Waylon, John Prine, anybody of these guys, I didn't listen to them. And now I'm getting into their music more just because I love good music.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who John Prine was until 6 or 7 years ago. And it was a shit way to learn. I mean, these kids in Missoula own a shop talking about, they fucking hated my music because it's the pop thing. But
Yeah.
they just talking.
No, it was the pop thing.
Yeah.
It's not the pop thing anymore.
No, yeah, it was then.
Yeah.
And they're talking about John Prine. I said, who's that?
Yeah.
That's an embarrassing way to learn about who John Prine is. They hated me because I did pop. They really fucking hated
I
me
bet.
after that.
Yeah.
But now I've dove into a lot of older stuff like that.
Okay.
That's just good quality music.
Like Chris Gaines.
I don't know what the hell that was about. You'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I heard that he was, George Strait did Dusty, the movie
I
Pure
remember.
Country.
Yeah, I watched it.
I
Had the
think-
rat tail.
Yeah, I think that's what they were doing, where Garth was going to do a movie. Never happened. I don't know what Chris Gaines was about. That's a strange one.
Hey, he's being creative, I guess, right?
He did. Yeah.
I guess so.
But him in his prime with the
brush popper.
the shirts.
No, that was those are called brush poppers, right?
Those shirts are.
Oh yeah,
He had a blue and black one.
Yeah.
He had the red and black, and then he had a white and black.
dude, Thunder Rolls, or I mean, fuck,
Those albums were sick.
they were so good.
And that was when albums were
Yeah,
great albums.
I went and saw him here in Portland in like the early '90s.
When he was in the heat of it.
Oh, Garth
Huge.
was blowing up.
That was my first concert. It was 96 or 97, I think, in Charlotte with my brothers.
Yeah,
And yeah, I never thought I'd, and then here I am years later
I
on
know.
stage with them because of a drunk text.
crazy. Yeah, when I was growing up, I listened to Hank Jr. like nonstop, and then actually Dolly had she was so good back then. It was kind of like I think Whitney Houston did the sing the same song, like the updated version. But man, Dolly has some great songs.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hard Candy Christmas is my favorite song of hers. I remember one morning I was duck hunting with my brother Casey on Christmas morning, and we did well. And then the ride home, Hard version to Say Nothing and Hard Candy, they were playing Christmas music, and that one came on. That's a memory that'll always stick with me. Just Hard Candy Christmas, Dolly.
Well, the same type of road trip. Me and Tanner, we were going to Alberta, and that's when we listened to, I think that was Bench Seat, wasn't it, Tanner? What? Well, of yours, and because he was asking me, he goes, "Have you heard this song?" And I think we listened to a couple of them, but yeah, those road trips, and we listened to. I had him listen to who was the guy whose son died, and he wrote, was it Stairways to Heaven? Man, I can't remember now, but we went through like all these classic songs. Yeah. And there's nothing better than road trips listening to music.
I know.
I mean,
well, that's what I've been doing the last 2.5 months. Because I've seen the country, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
Through touring, but I'm not doing the work. I'm not the guy making it happen. It's on a tour bus. So that's why I moved into this Airstream, and I'm the one doing it all. I was in my Airstream to downtown Portland, which I'll never do again. A few days ago, I'm just like, I'm actually seeing everything, man. That's like, awesome. I'm getting to do the drive-in. I'm listening. I listened to Endure.
Yeah.
On that trip, I've listened to a bunch of books. But yeah, Endure was 2 weeks ago. Awesome book.
Thank you.
And I've listened to books on tape, podcasts, and a lot of music.
Yeah, the bus is nice because you don't have to know airports in and out. You're just kind of like, they can drive. Who's your driver? Uncle
Carl.
Uncle Carl can drive. You can sleep or chill out.
Yeah, it's easy, but the Airstream's more rewarding.
Yeah.
Like even right now, I got a leak in the freshwater tank. It won't hold water. I got to fix it. Like nobody's there to help. Yeah. I'm the one that has to figure it out. So it's a headache and a hassle.
Oh, wait. So you're driving the Airstream?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
With a truck. My truck's pulling the Airstream. So.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I put on probably.
So what's the bus? When did the bus take over?
Just this week because for the shows. That's why I left the Airstream in Portland. But,
okay.
Like even tonight, I had to figure out the logistics. The bus is going to Coeur d'Alene. Yeah. Which I'm going with it. But we got to stop in Portland because my Airstream's there. It's like you can't come back to get it. So tonight I'll be dropped at whatever time I get to Portland. Yeah. Sleep in my Airstream and then drive tomorrow to Coeur d'Alene. Yeah. If I was just in the bus, I could just wake up in Coeur d'Alene and be happy. But
when you're looking into the crowd, what type of people draw your attention?
Honestly, I am pretty uncomfortable with looking at people. I know that sounds crazy, but like I get why Eric Church wears glasses. I wish I had thought of that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I would just be a poser if I did it now. But I've worn glasses like during day shows. It's way easier for me because you do the eye contact.
Yeah. Can you feel people like just everybody staring at you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel weird. Yeah. Especially if I don't have anywhere, if it's like there's no thrust. Yeah. Then you can just go left and right. It's like, what am I doing here? Yeah. But some nights when they're rowdy as shit and just screaming every word, those are easier because you don't really have to look at people. You're just like, everybody here is having a blast.
Putting on a show.
Yep. And then the tough ones are when they're not. And they're just kind of looking at you like, do y'all even want me here?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are weird for me because then I don't know, you just got to figure out how to make them like you, I guess. But those are the ones that are tough because then you got to stare people in the eyes. And
is it harder to do, like if you do a festival, could they be there for somebody else?
Oh, yeah.
But if you're doing your show, they're there because they're Chase Rice fans.
Yeah.
So is that a harder thing?
Festivals can be harder. Yeah. So this year I've done festivals with Morgan a few times. Those are I'm finding difficult because people want to see Morgan. So you got to figure out a way to make them like you and not just want the next act.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you do it?
Well, luckily we've got hits now, so
Yeah.
we have enough hits to where we can do an hour set, no problem.
Yeah.
And then I kind of go through the story of my career a little bit and songs that influenced me, play a few different covers that influenced me. That helps.
Yeah. People like the covers for
Yeah.
sure. The songs everybody knows.
I mean, shit, one of the biggest songs in the world right now is the Luke Combs song, "A Fast Car."
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a cover.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a huge song.
Right.
And he took it on and made it a #1 country song. So covers work.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, you gotta bring it. Like
Yeah.
when everybody's there to see Morgan Wallen and you're playing before him, take that as a great opportunity to go crush.
Yeah.
And so we do, man. Our set is pretty dialed now. We figured it out over the year how to get it right, and it's just in time because we're going to have a Jelly Roll in a week.
Yeah.
So
Tell him I said what's up.
I will. Jelly, I wonder how he'd do on this.
I don't know, but hey, he's welcome.
The talking would be amazing. I'd like to see him climb that mountain. Let's go, Jelly.
We could take our time.
Yeah, I mean he's the best, man. And then we do Old Dominion later this year, but it's the festival crowd. One of my favorite festivals in the world is Watershed. It's in the gorge.
I've never been there,
gorge.
but I've seen the pictures.
Shit, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And last year was the same thing. It was in front of Morgan, but as soon as I walked on stage, it was like, damn, they're here again. Like it's something about that festival, it's the best. But then you think about the one thing that I remember from it. I don't even know what song it was, but I'm just sitting out there, and I've actually taken this and used it a few times since this guy did it to me. He didn't flick me off. I don't know what, he was just staring at a huge dude. Glasses on, he's just staring. I'm like, I keep looking at him. It's all I can focus on. I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this fucking guy? And out of nowhere, a few songs later, he's just still looking at me. He just looks
Yeah.
at me. We make eye contact. He's just like, he just gives me the thumbs
Holy
down. That's
shit.
it. I was just like,
God, that's crushing.
I would have rather you just give me the bird, man, or say fuck you, whatever. He gives me a thumbs down. And it went from the best show to what the fuck did I just do wrong to make you give me a thumbs down?
Oh my God. Yeah.
But now I laugh about it. I'm like, dude, you don't like my music? Cool. Just don't come back.
Well, okay, so that makes me think of something, because we have these festivals here. The one you played, and then there's another one too. Parker just closed. I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, it's another one in Brownsville. So the one, I think it was the one in Brownsville, but all country, obviously. And then they had one night Kid Rock.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah.
So these are country music fans. These are like, like you said, old people like 55. But there's some younger people there too. But Kid Rock, he comes out and he's playing all his hardcore shit too. Yeah, he's got some that could be a little country, but most of them are just fucking. He's jumping around, ba with the ba, and people are going and so this isn't his. This is country, and so many people were. Wrote letters into the paper. They were pissed.
Really?
Right? Yeah, because he's talking about strippers. And
He probably had strippers on stage.
yeah.
I think he does.
Oh, definitely. And so, but he didn't give a fuck.
No.
So to me, that's like an attitude. It sounds easy. Like, oh, just don't give a fuck. Get up there, do your thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And man, if anybody could do it, he can, because he didn't.
I saw him at Bridgestone this year for the first time, or last year, I guess.
And there was people in the crowd just like what you were saying, just
Really?
like looking appalled.
And he didn't care. He doesn't care. I don't know if he
it
does
was
or not.
he was killing it.
Yeah. It's, man, you're fortunate to be a guy where the entire crowd is going nuts for you.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes shows are like that and it's awesome. And then sometimes you get the one thumbs down and you're just like, that's all you can focus on. But I've gotten to the point now, I'm just like, man, I know our show is what it is. And I know our show's good. And hopefully it'll only get better with better songs and all that. But I'm not going to let that bug me no more.
No.
It's just like, it's funny looking at the thumbs down. I'm like, dude, just fucking leave.
You can focus on that guy like this, or you can focus on the girl who says, check your DMs.
Check your DMs or whatever they're all doing. Yeah, it's like you get that. She was confident as hell, walks up. I'm just like seeing the crowd. Yeah, she just walks up, holds her phone up. People are holding their phones up a lot at
Yeah,
shows these
yeah.
days. It's like, guys, I'm not here to read your messages. Like, let's have fun at a concert. That one I noticed, though. She was pretty, and all it
Yeah.
said was, check your DMs.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I will.
Okay. Let me check that right now.
Oh, let me pause the show real quick. She was so confident doing that, too. It was
I
funny.
know. That's good and also a little worrisome.
Yeah, like, I wasn't her first artist. She's checking DMs for.
It's all good. But we were kind of joking around. So who's getting the most attention from the girls these days? Is it you, Riley Green? But you threw out another wild card.
Yeah, no, it's me and Riley are battling for silver, I think, on that one.
Yeah.
Morgan takes the cake.
Morgan's killing
Morgan's
it.
killing it.
Yeah.
And you'd have to ask him what's going on. But I mean, there's not a girl I meet in America right now that doesn't know Morgan. It's just like, if you don't, there was where was I? She wasn't from America. I can't remember where this was, but I wanted to marry her because she'd never even heard of him.
Oh, perfect.
And I was just like, and Morgan is a
She's
friend.
the one.
Yeah, she's the one. You don't know Morgan? You're the one. No, it's become a joke now. It's just like, he's the king. He's the king of country music right now. The girls love him. They're obsessed with him. The amount of texts that I've gotten from girls that I'm actually like, I could actually like this chick.
Yeah.
And then she sends me a selfie like wearing a Wallen shirt at his show or whatever. I'm just like, I don't need that in my life. And that has nothing to do with Morgan. I love Morgan.
Right.
But it's become a joke that I just can't beat him. He gets the girls.
There's a lot of
And I
girls.
lose.
I mean, can only service so many.
That's right, man. It's
One guy is like,
well, I'm going to let him speak on his success, but all I know right now is I'm fighting for silver.
yeah, wow, that's a good place to be still.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy who's giving you the thumbs down, I don't think he's up fighting for silver, do you?
No, yeah, it's like thumbs down to me, thumbs down to you. Yeah. I get more girls than you. No, it's become a joke at this point. It's just like, God dang.
So that is, I mean, I guess you got to separate the, the frustration with the industry to like the perks of being a country music star.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I have the coolest job ever.
Yeah.
I have the best job ever. And I'm actually in a good place where it's like, I'm single. I'm 37 now, still youngish, not old, not young. I'm kind of in the middle.
I would say very young.
Thank you.
But again,
yeah, you get around go to a college town, then you're not so young anymore. But I'm in a good place. Like I'm having a blast. My music's where it needs to be. I'm touring. I'm single. I'm having a blast right now.
Yeah.
And I should be.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Life is just fun right now. And as before, I've been in relationships where you're just like, man, I don't know if I should be in this relationship or not. And now I'm like, no, I'm not on purpose because I know who I am right now and I know what I want to do and I'm having a blast. And if someone comes along that makes me want to stop doing that, perfect.
Yeah.
Be with her.
Yeah. That's good. What do you think about, like you mentioned Morgan, well, he did like the Little Dirk.
Collab.
Yeah. What do you think? Does that work, do you think, for country? Like get into the other genres or what?
Yeah, I think it works for him for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's who he is. The biggest thing about Morgan that I know is he's good. He's just flat out good. And that's who he is. He loves rap. Moneybagg Yo, I think is his favorite rapper.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that, but I thought that's what he said. He loves rap. He grew up on rap. Loves country. He was a huge Eric Church fan. I know that. I'm a huge Eric Church fan. But that's him being himself. I mean, you listen to his record, it can have something crazy country on it, and then the next one's a straight hip hop song.
Yeah.
Kind of. And yeah, I mean, he's doing songs with Lil Durk.
Yeah.
That's hip hop or rap or whatever you want to call it. But I think it works perfect because it's him.
What was the one, Broadway Girls? Who is that with?
I think that's Lil Durk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
He opens with that, and it's not his song. He's singing. He's like walking out to it. And the crowd sings every single word.
I bet.
It's freaking nuts, man.
I bet.
I've never seen what's happening with him right now. I've really never seen what's happening with Zach either. Mm-hmm. And Zach and I hung after that night in Cheyenne, and he's awesome. He's a good dude. But that's a different thing because it's so non-mainstream, and it's still huge.
Yeah.
It's impressive. What they're both doing is impressive.
Yeah. I think it's cool that like Rogan had both Jelly Roll and Zach on.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He had Jelly Roll on?
He did.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, he had him on like probably maybe a little over a month ago or maybe 2 months ago now.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's cool.
Then Zach not long ago at all.
Yeah, I saw Zach was on there.
Yeah. And I think he went to Zach's show and Zach was trying to get him up on stage to sing with him. You know?
Probably All Night Revival.
I don't know, but he didn't. I don't think he went up and did it.
He wouldn't do it?
But he said it was a great show. So it's kind of cool that it seems like, I don't know, but it seems like country music is getting a lot of attention these days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it is. I mean, is it the biggest it's ever been? I think so.
It feels like it, but it's always been, I'm always like country and rap. Those are my two, whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
Hell yeah.
When I lift, I want to, and Suicide Boys. You ever listen to them? You haven't? Oh man, it's good lifting music. They're a little hardcore, but Suicide Boys go hard.
I mean, you look at it, Morgan, I mean, I guess Luke did 2 nights in Nissan Stadium, Luke Combs. Mm-hmm. Morgan, I think, is doing 2 or 3. Only Garth did that back in the day. Now there's a few artists doing stadiums all the time. So I think it's the biggest it's ever been.
It feels like.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's just more. I don't know. It's cool.
And it's weird too, because we talked about country music being a lot of cliches, like maybe the girls, the trucks, the beer, and all that. Yeah. But still, like the shit I like is still about that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think it's just how you is a song good, you know?
So what I noticed, that's the thing. Like what I noticed was when we did Cruise, then all of a sudden everybody tried to do it. Mm-hmm. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Yeah,
including me. A lot of people tried to do that, and it just became a watered down bullshit version of it. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of it. Cruise worked because it was the first, and not the topic, but just the way it sounded, the melody. It just worked. That's the thing I think a lot of people do is they try to chase and they try to make it a bunch of different versions of that. So if you can figure out your own version of it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Just try. I try when I'm writing songs like, okay, I'm not saying neon. Mm-hmm. I am not saying the fucking word neon. Not a neon sign in a bar.
No, that's my, if I have to sing a song, actually I sang a song with who was that now? Swan Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah, Neon Moon. Because I'm like, I can sing Neon Moon.
It's a great song.
But yeah, I get it.
That's an awesome song.
Neon's been mentioned a lot.
I'm not going to say Dirt Road. There's other shit you can say and just battle, just grind a little to try to find a different way of saying something.
Yeah, because I was thinking when you were mentioning, I like a Morgan song. I like Last Night. And I think it's just about right. So last night's not going to be the last time or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Thinking About Me. So it's just like she's with some other guy, but she's thinking about.
Is that a Morgan one?
Yeah, and that's all like. That's probably been the songs written about that a lot.
Yeah,
but still fucking good. So it's just how you write.
He figured out a way to do his version of it. Just, last night, I remember that. They didn't even want to really write it.
Really?
Which is crazy because that is a monster. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, Jesus. Yeah. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, I don't know if it's huge or not, but I like it.
It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
And but in 10 years ago, that would have came out and I would have tried to rewrite that.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, good for you, dude. That's fucking huge. I like Whiskey Friends too. That's a cool song. It's on his new record.
Yeah, I don't know if I've listened to that too much.
I hadn't heard it until we did the weekend of shows together a few weeks back.
Yeah.
He played it live, and I snuck in the pit. And, he started playing that, and I was like, damn, this is a good song.
The one of yours I was just listening to this morning was that one where it says, Would you say sorry, mama? Right?
Sorry, Mama.
Yeah, I think I said. But anyway, I think I said sorry, mom. But sorry, mama. That's
Sorry,
I don't know.
For the hell you raised.
Yeah, I like that song.
It's a cool, and the way we recorded it was just fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Basically, just saying sorry, Mama, for all the hell you raised. Like, I can't imagine looking back now. It's like, damn, she raised 3 boys. That was a tough job.
That's rough.
She went through a lot, and she
Yeah.
still is.
Yeah.
She still has to worry about my ass.
Are your other brothers married?
They're married. Yeah, they're both married. They both have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I'm the only one flying solo. And
But done. I mean, dude, you've done like a lot. As I mentioned, all those things you've done. Fucking crazy that you're only 30, whatever.
37, yeah.
Yeah. So many cool things.
It's been cool. Like Stormy Warren, he was on the highway. Now he does his own thing. But he said one time, he was like, dude, you're like the Forrest Gump of country music. And it's cool. That's one of my favorite movies too, which is cool. Like, but yeah, it was college football. And then after that was NASCAR. Mm-hmm. And while I was doing NASCAR, I was starting to write songs and really wanted to do Nashville, but I had to move to Nashville and just start.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to do Survivor that came up. I hate reality TV.
Why'd you do Survivor to make?
I had a girl reach out and say, would you want to do Survivor? And I was like, sure, why not? That was my response. I didn't think it would happen.
Was it hard?
It was hard, yeah. The no food is fucking tough. Like at some point you're just waking up and walking down the beach with no energy.
Yeah.
You got nothing.
How many days were you there?
Ours was 40.
40.
Yeah. So it was 40 days. The no food's by far the hardest part, but
Yeah.
the mind games, I wasn't good at it. I don't know how I made it at the end. I got second, but I sucked at it. Like I was the worst at the mind games. I was just telling people the truth and shit. I should have never made it that far, but I did it because it gave me an opportunity to not do my NASCAR job and take whatever little bit of money I got from that and be able to move to Nashville. Mm-hmm. That was the idea. I didn't think it would actually happen that way, and it did happen that way, which is cool.
Yeah.
I took the money, and I couldn't even do the job. I came back, and my coach saw me. I was 34 pounds lighter. I was emaciated.
Couldn't do what job? The NASCAR job?
NASCAR job.
Oh,
So
okay.
go home, get your weight back on you, get acclimated back to normal life, and come back and start up.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, I went straight to Nashville.
Yeah.
And I moved in with Brian and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line, and we started writing songs.
What are they? Do you do anything with them now?
We did Drinking Beer, Talking God Amen in 2020. Did that. It was kind of cool because Cruise was our first one that we wrote together. It was their first #1 song as an artist, mine as a writer. And then 10 years later, here we are. They were breaking up. I think it was kind of understood they were about to, but then we did that song together, and that was, I guess, their last song on the radio. Maybe the one after that, I don't know. But it was a cool bookend of like, we started this thing, now it's over, and we're all going our separate ways. So it's been cool.
Yeah.
That was the last thing we all did together.
Yeah. Quite. I mean, what an industry. It seems like it's so competitive too, and it's just like, I don't know.
It is. It's competitive for sure. There's a lot of politics that go into it that I've never been good at playing those games.
Yeah.
Because like I was telling you earlier, like that shouldn't be it. I guess you got to get on the right side of the politics. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna try to treat people good and be good to people. That's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to make you feel good about yourself or tell you how great you are so I can win this award or be on your radio station.
Right.
If you like the fucking song, play it. If you don't, don't.
Yeah.
But what was I saying before that? Just saying I'm not very good at the politics.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. No, I understand that too. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, everybody tries to relate other people's stories to their own, but like when I first started, you know, people would always say, you know, you don't need to run a marathon to kill an elk. And they were like, you know, talking shit about how much I train for what I do and you don't have to do it. And it's just like, I see these other guys, like I saw the Bone Collectors in Waddell, and they had all their TV shows. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm busting my ass. How come I can't get a chance? So I get it. I totally get it, dude. I was a fucking nobody working as hard as I could and had this dream, and it didn't seem fair.
when did it change for you? Was it social media?
Yeah.
Being able to promote yourself and how your lifestyle is?
Before I had to rely on magazines or a TV show to buy the airtime and give me the opportunity.
Yeah.
And like, I remember we pitched with Brandon Shockey a TV show with me and Roy, my buddy. And because we would always hunt, go to the deepest, hardest, where nobody else wanted to hunt in that the most rugged country and get it done.
Yeah.
And so I said, this is a show. We're gonna, like beast mode hunting, like, you want it so bad. And they shot it down, said, yeah, Roy didn't really fit that. They said, we want you to be more like a superhero. And I'm like, I'm just, I'm a fucking bow hunter. I work my ass off.
Yeah.
And they were like, didn't think Roy fit that thing. So it's just like, shot it down. Roy's the best bow hunter. He died in 2015, but the best mountain guy I've ever been around. And that didn't matter.
Yeah.
They didn't care about being real and authentic and true mountain hunters.
Yeah.
They wanted something that was good for TV. Like Waddell was funny. He was really good on camera.
Yeah.
I wasn't, and so I didn't get any opportunities.
Damn. What do you do now?
So social media was where instead of me relying on other people, I could just say what I want, put it out how I want, and you could either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
But it's like, at least we were in control, or I was in control, and now you are in control too. And in some ways, I know you still have the label, and even with my book, I was, my publisher did good, but I would see like Tim Kennedy came out with a book, and they had his book. He was used another publisher. It was on New York Times Square with the book, and I'm like, why the fuck isn't my book up there?
Yeah,
I want my book up there too. And so like, you still always have these things like, could they be working harder on my book? And could it have got, whatever? So I think there's always that, but now at least we're in control.
Yeah.
And whatever message we want to promote and get out there, well, you have over 1 million people, and, you reach probably tens of millions a month. So they can see whatever message you want. Yeah. You're in control of that.
That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And with labels and all that stuff, like, there's going to be a point where you are not a priority. Somebody else is. Am I in that place right now? Sometimes it feels like that. At the same time, it is not going to change a fucking thing about what I'm doing. Right. I'm going to keep putting out the music I'm putting out. If I have to pay for it, I'll do it. Because I believe in it that much. Now, one thing I've started thinking lately, like, okay, if I was paying for it, what would I pay for? If it's Way Down Yonder, which is a song on the album, there's a video that was expensive. Would I do that again? No. Because I don't think it had the impact that it needed. Would I do Bench Seat again? Hell yes, because I believe in that message. So I'm trying to be thoughtful on moving forward. Where's the best bang for a buck? And our best bang for a buck is in the studio making great music. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Yeah. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, in my opinion. And that's a fun place to be. At the same time, if it doesn't work, it's sad, but I wouldn't change it. Yeah, I think there's two parts to that. I think, making great music in the studio is good, but also sharing that journey on social media. So you have people invested in your journey, and then they see like, oh, fuck, he was grinding, and now this is it. And now they're just like, so they want to embrace it. And we did that. We videoed the whole documentary of making the last record, writing the songs. We're doing that. I want people to hear and see these songs before they're out. They love that shit. Yeah. So I just put out a song called "Oh Tennessee," just the chorus. But that song is going on the next record. It's about it's about moving to Nashville and the grind that it takes to move to Nashville, getting the dream to come true, and it fucking your world up. And that's what happened to me. It's like, and blaming Tennessee. At the end of the day, it's my fault. But you're just blaming Tennessee in this song. It's like, oh, Tennessee, what have you done? Was it your bullet or the gun that took a life of love and chalked it up to a manhunt on the run? And it's just about, damn, Tennessee, you made everything that I asked for happen, and now you've screwed it all up. Yeah. Now my life is all fucking turned upside down. At the same time, it's just like, it's awesome. Yeah, I like that. It's a fun song. What you just went through with the lyrics there, that sounded good to me. It's sick, man. Yeah. And then it says on the final bridge, I can't remember where it is in the song, but it's like, Tennessee, I gave everything I had for you. How dare you make this dream come true? It's like, but it's just a fun song, man. It's gonna be fun to play live.
Oh yeah.
And it was just, I just started writing in Nashville. It's just like I started looking around. Everything that you wanted. If you'd have told me this, I'm going to be here in 10 years ago, I'd be like, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then it happens and you just want more. You want more.
Yeah.
But I keep going back to it and I'll keep saying it. The formula is there now. And it's just write great songs. Don't overproduce them.
Yeah.
Let people hear them for what they are. And the rest should take care of itself.
Yeah.
And if the label or whoever, management, myself, if that's not being promoted the way it should, I still got social media to do it.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is
Where
huge.
do you have the most success writing? I mean, what is it? Just when it crops up in the shower, or sitting down intentionally, or
I get a lot of ideas like on this trip. Like I'll just write down an idea. Just look through. I keep them all in my notes. But what I found formula wise is working great for me is I used to write in Nashville. I don't write in Nashville anymore. I don't go to Music Row and do that thing. I plan a trip with two or three other songwriters, or one in one case. Wilmington, me and Blake Pendergrass did that one, but I got to do a trip now. Like I want 4 days, 3 or 4 days, whatever, with these writers, and that's all we focus on. Like did Montana was one of the trips from the last record where we golfed one day, then come home and write songs that night, and we write 3 songs a night sometimes. Next day we fished, floated the river, come home and write. So it just, to me, it allows. In Nashville, you show up at 11. Somebody's got to pick their kid up by 3. There's just so many distractions.
Yeah.
On these writing trips, you're having fun. You're out in the middle of a cool place. Lori McKenna, we were at her house in Boston. That was a grind. We wrote 3 or 4 songs in 2 days, but it was at her house, and we were only there to do that. So being away from Nashville and not having distractions, I think, is my best method.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever write a song and then get it done and then listen and think about you should have done, you wish you would have had this other lyric or this other word, or once it's done, it's done?
No, yeah, I keep messing with them after.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
because if something's not right, you can always change it.
Yeah.
Until it's out, it's not permanent.
Okay.
So I'll change stuff all the time.
Yeah. What's your favorite song that you've written or you've done yourself? If you had to pick one.
Ooh. I would say bench seat, most meaningful anyway. But even that one, like playing it every night's not easy.
Yeah.
Shit, I gotta do this. Like some nights I dread it.
I can't imagine like some of those like Rolling Stones or some of these guys who've been around for 40 years playing the same shit.
No. And I saw the Stones 3 times last year because it was their last time supposedly in America.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it.
Was
So
it the same songs, right? Or like their hits?
sometimes were different, but they played mostly the same stuff. LA, I remember they played Wild Horses and Beast of Burden, which they did not play at the other one. So
Yeah.
they changed it up a little bit.
Who's the best live show you've ever seen?
Oh man, I mean Garth in the '90s, that was it. Zach Bryan at Cheyenne, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
How does one win Entertainer of the Year? Because I've like, it's so weird. It's like I thought for a while there Luke was putting on fucking shows. Luke Bryan,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, he was like, those people were going crazy, and he wasn't winning it. It was like going to George Strait, and George Strait just stands there.
Yeah.
He's not running around.
Yeah,
So what makes an Entertainer of the Year?
being on the right side of the politics.
Yeah.
Now that's part of it. There's definitely politics that go into awards shows.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's just part of it. at the same time, like, I'm sorry if Morgan Wallen doesn't win Entertainer of the Year in the next 2 years. Everybody's wrong. he's doing it. He's selling the most tickets.
Yeah.
And he's the top guy, in my opinion. You know, you cannot disagree with the numbers. You can say his music sucks, whatever.
If it's CMT, it's probably going to be Dylan Mulvaney's going to win Entertainer of the Year.
It ain't going to be Aldine, I know that.
It's not. So it's like, yeah, the politics there, but yeah, it seems, even from the outside in, it seems frustrating.
It's stupid, man. At the same time, you go to an Aldine show, and it's so funny, man. People trying to cancel people. It's like, you guys are fucking stupid. You realize making a big deal out of this is only making him bigger. And making the issue, like, there's so many people on the other side of what you believe that believe what he's doing is right. Just shut the fuck up. Like, good for Jason, to be honest.
I know.
Good for him.
Yeah. I love to see it.
I'm just so sick of people trying to cancel people.
Me too.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But Entertainer of the Year, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to sell the tickets. The funny thing is, I think when Blake Shelton won Entertainer of the Year, and I love Blake. He's awesome. And I think he even laughed about it. He was like, I don't know how I won this. He did like 20 shows or something crazy low, and he was on The Voice. And he won Entertainer of the Year. I don't know how that happened. I'm sure he could tell you, but right now it should be Morgan.
Yeah. What awards have you won?
I ain't even been up for any.
No, you won.
I haven't.
No?
No, I think early on, maybe a video early on in my career. But we are potentially up for Album of the Year this year for CMAs.
Oh.
It's in the final couple rounds of it, however that works.
Maybe I was thinking your number ones, because
I've had 2 number ones.
2 number ones,
which is not a lot. I mean, compared to
it's fucking 2 better than none.
That's true.
I mean, how many artists never have a number one?
Oh yeah,
most of them.
Right.
So you got fucking 2.
I'm in there now with a lot of the greatest artists that are doing it. Like I'm in that small 1% or whatever. That's cool, man. I've figured out a way to somehow still be here.
That's how, it gives credence to when you said 10 years ago, if somebody could have said, hey, you'd be doing this, you'd have 2 number ones, you'd be like, fuck.
It's awesome.
What?
Yeah.
And then, but still, it reminds me, like, Endure was number 7, a New York Times bestseller. I'm like, well, why the fuck is it number 1? It outsold all these other ones.
Yeah.
It did also. So it's like we get to this thing where, we're happy but not satisfied.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to be satisfied until, luckily now it's not about award shows or anything like that. It never has been for me, to be honest. Radio's never been a thing I've chased hard. It's cool if you get a big hit on there, but it's even cooler if, to me, honestly, all that matters at the end of the day for me is selling out, selling out shows. Like, if you can't sell any more tickets, that's the best you can achieve. And if they're coming and singing every song, that's the coolest feeling in the world.
Oh yeah, I bet.
As far as award shows too, it's like, Album of the Year this year, and then Video of the Year for Bench Seat. And album's hard. I mean, there's a lot of great albums.
Oh yeah.
But
so you think you have a chance with the video too?
I don't think anything's better than Bench Seat.
Yeah.
And I don't say that about everything.
Right.
I'm just pumping my own stuff.
Well, so who makes sure that gets in front of the right eyeballs, or do you have to rely on the industry to see it?
It's funny how it works is people trade votes.
Oh,
it's not like people just say this is the best. Here's what's getting voted for. People trade votes.
Okay,
it's crazy. Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? I don't know, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Bench Seat is the best thing that I've ever done, especially the video. And it's going to Cannes, which is freaking awesome. It's won a ton of film festivals and stuff that we submitted for.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
I think we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you mentioned that. So that's what I was thinking about with the award shows. I guess I wasn't thinking about country music awards, but
yeah. Bench Seat's won a lot of film festivals this year.
And who filmed it?
A kid named Kaiser Cunningham. He was my dating. Evan's been here.
Yeah.
He was that guy before Evan was here.
Evan seems pretty dialed in on shit.
Evan's badass.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
good, man, and he's good at what he does. But bench seat to me should win, and I wouldn't say that about my album. I wouldn't say my album should win album of the year. If it did, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
and that'd be a huge honor. But there's a lot of great albums. I don't believe there's a video out there better than bench seat, and it's a very powerful video.
Well, let's make sure everybody listening to this goes and fucking watches bench seat and shares that shit.
It's sad, but it's real and it happens. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of like, so I haven't seen it yet, but you said the dog, and it reminds me of Bradley Cooper and
A Star Is Born.
Yeah. I mean,
shit. I mean, it's right on that line.
Yeah. That was like the saddest part of that movie.
And
he's fucking hanging there, and the dog's.
It's kind of what happens. It's not a hanging. But, I when I wrote bench seat that day, like I said, it took me like 7-8 hours. I was bawling my eyes out the whole time, and I had the video for it when I was writing the songs. For some reason, it just happened that way.
Yeah.
Something just happened that day that was awesome.
Well, let's hope it fucking wins.
It's got to get in still, but it's in the final round of voting for the CMAs. And just like anything else, man, if it doesn't, first of all, that's wrong. Yeah. And I'll straight up say that about that video. Not the album. I'd love to be in for album of the year, but that video, if it doesn't make it in, at least make it in, they're wrong.
Yeah. As a nomination.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't take away from how powerful that video
what
is.
It means to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Well, dude, I mean, fuck, I can't believe what a fun day we've had. And I guess Wayne's making us go out and have, what did he say he's cooking?
Elk burgers.
Elk burgers.
Which we had 5 guys for lunch.
I mean, he's not making us, but we get to go out there. Yeah. I go out there. So I tell him I'm at his house more than he's there.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's always working.
Yeah.
And I'm always out there shooting. So, yeah, it's we're pretty lucky to have Endicott Farms and Wayne and Lisa. And, today they were closed. And we were in there fucking around with your bow all day getting it. You were shooting good last night. And now it's like we got the herd bull approved.
Yeah.
And it's just lights out now. I mean, you hit that balloon at 226 yards. Or no, 126. 226 would be
I was
the
aiming at trees, too. That was crazy. I got work to do on that bow still, just getting used to it. But, yeah, it's dialed now.
No, it's great. It's great. And it's just like, I can't, we had the great lift session, a lot of reps.
My
like
chest is going to be ripped up tomorrow.
I saw you doing push-ups to warm up, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to want to save those push-ups because you're going to need those at the end.
It toasted me, and I feel bad holding you back because I know that's not. I know that was easy for you, but
no, it wasn't.
I had a hard day. Great day, man.
It was good.
I had a blast.
I just like. I mean, your whole crew, everybody is just like such good guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, this is an excuse for me to get training partners.
Yeah.
So you guys were awesome training partners today.
I can't believe we took that rock up that mountain.
Oh.
Like I didn't think that was going to be happening.
That was sick.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. My stop pre-shirt is just ruined in the best way.
Everybody loves a stop pre-shirt though.
It's awesome.
But yeah, it's I saw people commenting too that they saw you in Jacksonville. It's Oregon, not Florida. But you put on a great show here.
That was awesome.
Yeah, night before last.
And I've had some stuff going on with, just the industry and it's stuff that fear creeps in and makes you even question, are you relevant anymore type stuff.
Yeah.
And that show, that was happening. And by the end of the show, it's just like, nah, we're good, man.
Yeah.
Those people that showed up and that were singing was just like, it was a good reminder for me to like, keep going, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you should ever doubt yourself. You are fucking good.
Yeah.
You are good. You got
Thank you.
You got stories to tell. You got the fucking look. You got the connections. I mean, if anybody's going to succeed, it should be you.
Yeah.
And you have, and you're going to continue to. I mean, I have no doubt. But I think that everybody doubts themselves. Not everybody admits it. And I think that, you know, you mentioned earlier being vulnerable. I think that's just how it works.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes people great is that they, you know, and I there's some quote in my book, but it's like the people who are great are the ones who don't think they're great.
Right.
You know, but they just put in the work.
That was literally one of my favorite parts of your book because it was just such a good reminder of like, don't believe your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Just grind, keep going. I like a head down, eyes up is the thing I always said to myself. That line mentality.
I love that line.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Just do not stop.
No, I have no doubt you're on the right path for sure.
Right.
And your music, this last album is like, you know, is a testament to that. So
Yeah. Thank you, dude.
yeah, I mean, I'm super thankful that you were able to come here and share a day with me and have a podcast. And it's like, your whole story just, it means a lot to me. I mean, just, you know, with your dad and you're just, you know, I don't know, this journey that we're on, it's like, it is up and down.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's never going to be perfect, but I really identify with parts of your story that you've mentioned in the struggles. And, you know, you mentioned the industry and I've mentioned my own industry and I've questioned myself. And so I think I can really relate to a lot of what you're going through, but I'm very thankful for your friendship and for you to come here and spend today with me.
Dude, it means, I mean, I know who you've had on this thing, so it means a lot that you'd ask me to do it. It's cool, man. This is what you're doing outside of just sitting here talking 2 hours. That was cool, but the day was that much cooler.
It was
awesome, man.
Well, let's go out, see what Wayne's up to and have some elk burgers.
Get some elk burgers. Let's go. It was awesome, man. Thank you.
All right. Keep hammering, guys.
Guys, it's Cameron Haynes here. I want you to win this brand new 2023 Ford Raptor. The tax man loves coming for that money, right? I'm giving away $10,000 cash to offset that for the winner. Enter to win, CameronHaynes.com. Keep hammering.
Every step I take, I move my truth. Every time they tell me stop, I use. Every comment, hate that makes my fuel. Gather up my energy and boom. I hear them talking, saying the way that I move is so reckless. That is a part of my mind I've been blessed with. Giving my blood, so I am relentless. My fault, they want someone to blame. They sent their hate, it fuels my pace. I am Roy Tough, I am the change, the fuel in dirt. Feeling like Cam Haynes.